Today we're going to check out some pocket knives. Starting it off, we have the Besttech Leto. I think this is an amazing little knife. Like if you like small knives, this is a phenomenal one. Great access to the lock bar. I love how they put the texturing there on the lock bar. The drop point blade, especially with this handle, works really well for EDC. Great pinch grips. It actually is very comfortable in the hand. Yes, I do feel the wire clip because, you know, these corners right there, but it's not horrible. And, you know, considering the things you're going to do with this knife, I think that this thing is exactly what somebody would want in a small pocket knife in basically every way, shape, and form. It does have a titanium frame lock with really nice micarta scales, and it does come with a couple of different options. The blade steel is M390 with a nice satin finish. See, I got a little schmuck on it, but beautiful satin. All in all, phenomenal knife. Next is another little guy. This is an OLITANS. I can't remember the exact name of it. Maybe I'll put it on the screen or something, but this is from OLITANS. OLITANS does have a bunch of different kinds of knives. I featured a bunch of them on the channel, some of which I've been very impressed with. They're the guys who do that, that replaceable blade knife that I always talk about, because for like 50 something dollars, you can get three blades with different blade shapes in 9CR18 MOV with a titanium frame lock. That's insane value right there. So this is a titanium frame lock with D2 steel, satin finish, good access to the lock bar, remarkably smooth. Like you don't expect this thing to be as smooth as it is because of how light the blade is, because it's a very thin geometry. So considering it's so thin, you don't expect it to be this damn smooth. And the flipper tab snaps out really well. Not too strong of a detent, not too light. It's literally just right. And the handle has a blasted finish on the titanium. It does have a deep carry steel pocket clip with button screws. That'd be my biggest negative on this knife. But all in all, it's just a little light duty EDC, you know, a string popper. And I think that this thing will not only, you know, like sit anywhere you want comfortably without, you know, you won't even notice you have a knife in your pocket carrying this, but you know, you have a nice little blade on you when you are ready. Another little knife. This one I'm going to go by quickly because I think a lot of people know about the Dragonfly. Spyderco Dragonfly. This one's in K390. My favorite steel, my all-time favorite steel, at least at the moment. I think Spyderco does a phenomenal job with it. I'm hoping to have a knife design done in K390 soon. We'll see how that goes. But it does have FRN scales, which, you know, as much as I love the FRN on the Manix too, and, you know, maybe some of their other models, I'm not a fan of this, this stuff. It's just too light for me. Yeah, I know that they have aftermarket scales and I just need to buy some, but the blade, the ergos, the shape, the size, everything as far as EDC, this is a perfect little EDC knife if you're looking for something compact. This is a utility cutting beast, and considering it has K390, this stuff just keeps on kicking. It has incredible edge retention, and K390 takes some extremely sharp edges, and in my opinion, I think it hones and strops back very easily, you know, especially if you have a good angle, but man, just so much bite. But yeah, you can get a full 4-finger grip for such a small knife, but this is where it's at, these little pinch grips. And it does have a back lock, you know, which, you know, is fidgety in its own way. You can slap it forward like that. So there is ways to manipulate a little back lock like this. Let's get to the next one. Last little knife. This is the Artisan, what is it, the Centaurion? Orion. It's the Orion, right? Damn it, now I gotta double check. I think it's the the Artisan Orion. So the Artisan Orion, this is the mini. And with the mini, it does have the lock bar cutout, which I do love because my big one does not have that. They do have big ones with it, but my version did not come with the lock bar access, and that was one of my biggest criticisms of that knife. This one, small, compact, However, it's a full-size knife for a lot of people. Full 4-finger grip, as you can see. Yeah, it's tight. It's a tight 4-finger grip, but you still got it. And it is basically a spear point or leaf-shaped blade with good geometry, blasted finish, nice and slicey. The blade steel on this is S35VN. The reverse flick action is really good. The hole lands in a great spot. I think the detent is pretty well done. I mean, it's not too strong, it's not too light, and I think the shape of this hole and the position of the hole, you wouldn't want it, you know, pretty much any stronger or lighter. So yeah, I'm happy with it. The clip is a titanium mill pocket clip, somewhat of a small titanium mill pocket clip, but it does work. And if you really, really look close, this thing does have some micro milling all over the handle, which is a nice little touch. I love micro milling. But all in all, it's just a basic EDC knife that's well, I should say, as a premium medium to small size EDC knife, I think this is a great one. You know, it's going to work great in the pinch grips, utility cuts, slicing is going to be good. It's light duty, lightweight, and you know, it's good quality as far as materials go. Now the next one, actually we're gonna strap this one. So this is from KATSU, and this is, in my opinion, well, it's a Japanese style, so it's not made in Japan, but it has the design of like a Japanese folder. I believe the guy who did design this is a Japanese gentleman. This is ZDP 189. He treated to around 66 to 67 HRC. It has a convexed blade. So this is not a flat grind. So if we look here at like this knife, right? This is a flat grind. It's perfectly flat. So the grind starts right there and it tapers down to the edge. Sorry, my camera's jumping, guys. This one slowly rounds down to the edge. Instead of going straight down like this, it rounds down. So that would be a convex grind. Now you see how it's a mirror polished. So what I'm gonna do, and you probably can see a little bit of scratches there, that's because I've already started this, but we're gonna strop it and we're gonna strop it back, and you're gonna see little scratches because, you know, when you strop a convex grind, that's what's gonna happen. Yes, it technically has a micro bevel, but I've noticed from me stropping it, I am able to still bring back a ton of bite. But before we do that, front flipping action, that works great. I'm not a big fan of the jimping, but the front flipper is just positioned in the right way and the detent is tuned very well. So it is super fidgety. You can see it is a guillotine. And then you have a titanium handle, titanium frame lock with a perfect titanium mill pocket clip. Super smooth in and out of the pocket. Can't express that enough. This reminds me of a Rockstead, and I do have a Rockstead. So this to me is like a budget Rockstead. You can get these for like, I think like 200 bucks. So considering what you're getting, you know, Rocksteads are like $1,000 to $2,000. I got one, I think that's 1,800, and then another one that's like 1,100, and they use the same steel with, you know, with the same HRC. So obviously they're gonna be, you know, a little bit more precision built, made in Japan. But let's grab me a strap really quick. So I'm gonna grab a couple different straps, because what I'm gonna try doing here, oh, by the way, strappy stuff, NEEVEKNIVECO, check it out. They should be back on the site right now. I'm pretty positive they are. They're supposed to show up today, so they should be, by the time this is going up, it should be up there. So what do we have here? Let's look at the microns. We have half a micron. So that would be this one right here, half a micron, bam. This one's 9 micron, I know that for sure. That's this one right here. I'm just looking for a little bit of a progression. I haven't used the green stuff yet. Which one is this? Oh, well, I do. I got it over there, but we'll forget about that one right now because we don't want to go. 4 micron, that's this one. So, and then we have this one, which is 1 micron, quarter micron. We don't need that one. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. We are going to start with, I don't want to start with a 9. That's a little too aggressive for what I'm trying to do with this. We're going to start with the 4 micron, the purple right here. And I'm going to strop, and then you can see the bevel. You see I already got a little bit of scratches there already because I've done it a little bit. We're going to see if we, let's cut with it really quick. Just want to see if we can bring it back. I'm not sure if this is going to work. Well, it's already nice and sharp, but I think we can get it sharper though. I know that's hard to tell on camera if it did get sharper, but I'll be honest if it does or doesn't. Because it might not. I might, you know, it seems like it has been, but you know, that doesn't mean it's gonna this time. And it does have a little micro bevel on it. But what I'm trying to do right now is I'm not hitting the bevel. I'm hitting this entire bottom part. And you can actually see the scratches. See the subtle scratches on there? And then the next one should make it finer and finer. We're gonna see if we can't bring it to a mirror. We might even do a 1/4 micron. What is this one? This one's 1 micron, so that would be next. So this one would be next. Like I said, NEEVEKNIVECO, you can get the stroppy stuff. This is my all-time favorite stropping compound. And you can see how concentrated the abrasive is just by looking at that polish. You can see how fine those little scratches are. This one was half. Yeah, let me go to a 1/4 micron, which would be this one. Okay, so I wound up redoing it, you know, off camera. And yeah, in all honesty, it definitely backfired a little bit. It got back to a nice polish. Like the scratch is definitely less. And there's a tiny scratch pattern on there, which I expect. And, you know, I could strop it out by spending a little more time on it. But what it did was it lost its bite. I definitely got it to lose its bite. I was hoping to bring back more bite. It's still sharp, but I don't know if it's any sharper. But but what I was trying to do was bring back the bite because it feels like it's starting to get slick. I mean, it still shaves hair and everything, but anyways, yeah, I tried, you know, hey, I tried. I'll probably have to either resharpen a new bevel on this thing, or I will have to do, you know, a whole convex grind stropping from an aggressive stropping compound, like, you know, something that's way more aggressive, almost like sandpaper, then work my way up. And that would work. That would definitely work. That'd be like resharpening this entire blade, which, hey, maybe I'll do a video on. Next is the KANSEPT KORVID S. I freaking dig this thing. I have the more premium, or well, the carbon fiber with copper handled one, which I guess you'd say was more premium. 14C28M blade steel. Love the steel choice. What I love about this knife is these ergonomics. This knife, you got to get it in hand to understand, because I honestly, just looking at it, I would have said, yeah, I don't know about that. But when you, sorry guys, when you get it in hand though, my goodness, this thing is just, it's so comfortable. It just makes you want to cut stuff. It really does. You know, whether it's utility cuts or slicing, you have so much control. It's such a palm filling handle. So yeah, I freaking dig this one. And I'm not even a big fan of the KORVIDs. I got a lot of them, but I'm not a fan of them. But I love the little fixed blade. This is where I think, this is the one I think it should have been. All the other models I'm not a fan of. This one's awesome. And then last is the KANSEPT Convict. This is a sheepdog design. This used to be, if it might even be, my favorite KANSEPT knife. I said that repeatedly over and over and over. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, whenever it came out. It was the titanium frame lock was the first one I had. And it came in S35VN and an amazing titanium frame lock. Actually, the first one was a single-sided thumb disc. But my favorite one was when they made it, when they turned it into thumb studs. I do have other versions. I have one with a blade hole. They have liner. Like I said, there's all different versions. I've even done blade swaps with them. This one's obviously the copper carbon fiber. And then the blade steel on this one's S35VM. But what I love about this knife, well, there's a few things. One, the blade is a beautiful Wharncliffe blade. Great example of a Wharncliffe. Beautiful stone wash. Perfect sharpening tool and plunge grind. Perfect. The access to the lock bar is very comfortable, and there's plenty of it. And then again, kind of like we were talking about with the KORVID, the ergos on this thing is just hand melting. Like I can bear down on it. I can do utility cuts, pinch grips, slicing, choke up. I can even turn it around, cut straps. This thing is an ergonomic dream. And when you start putting it to use, which is where I fell in love with it in the first place, the original one was because I was carrying it and using it constantly. It wound up going into tons and tons of videos. I I know a bunch of people got it, but I don't think it got the praise it should have. This one has obviously a spring pocket clip, but they have, like I said, other versions. Very smooth action. The thumb studs, I'm normally not a fan of Kansept's thumb studs because they're a little slick. I wish they had more texture. But the Convict, they land in the perfect spot, whether you're gonna slow roll it, thumb flick it, reverse flick it, doesn't matter. Super snappy, perfect detent, great lock up. Yep, this is a good one. This is a damn good one. This one, man, I've recommended it so many times. I just haven't broke it out in a while because, you know, a lot of new knives come out and, you know, I feel like sometimes people might get sick of me, you know, raving about a knife and they're like, just, you know, show us something else, you know. So anyways, there you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.